time zones. So we spoke before about Greenwich being located on the prime meridian, which is the 0 degrees reference point. And we use this as a reference point for all time on Earth. And time has to be either added or subtracted from Greenwich. So if you're east of Greenwich, you're ahead of their time, and if you're west of Greenwich, you're behind their time. It's easy to look at if we flatten out our map. So let's imagine our map of the Earth being flat here. Let's just put Greenwich here, 0 degrees. Now, let's imagine our equator going across this way. So this is a flattened Earth. And we're going to look at two countries in particular for an example. We're going to look at Sydney, Australia, which is roughly 34 degrees south and 150 degrees east, so which might put it about there. So that's 34 degrees east, 150 degrees, that was 34 degrees east, 34 degrees south, sorry. Let's just fix that up. 34 degrees south and 150 degrees east, which we put it there because it's below the equator, that's why it's south, and it's east of Greenwich, which is why it's over on this side. And we're going to look at New York, which is 41 degrees north and 75 degrees west of Greenwich, so maybe somewhere up there. So this is Sydney. That's where I'm from, actually. And New York, which is, roughly 41 degrees north and 75 degrees west. Now, for every degree you move on the Earth, every 1 degree, that actually equals 4 minutes in terms of the time zones. And if we multiply both sides by 15, that's 15 degrees equals 60 minutes or 1 hour. Okay, so we have those options to use as well. So for every 1 degree we go across either way, that's a 4-minute time difference. And every 15 degrees we move across, that's a 1 hour time difference. Okay, so let's have a look at an actual example. So, by the way, north and south have nothing to do with the time zone. So in relative like north and south, it's got nothing, it's only the west and easterly directions which have anything to do with your time zone, so all our longitudes. Okay, let's have a look at an example. So we've got Sydney, Australia, which is 34 degrees south, 150 degrees east, and we've got New York, which is 41 degrees north, 75 degrees west. Now, if it's 12 noon, so 12 p.m. in Greenwich, what time is it in Sydney and New York? Well, let's have a look how we can work that out. So we know Sydney is 150 degrees east of Greenwich. So we can take our degrees, divide it by 15, and it tells us how many hours time difference it is. And that's going to give us 10 hours. And since we're east, we're ahead. So we have to take our 12 p.m. and plus 10 hours. So that means it has to be 10 p.m. in Sydney. Let's do New York. So New York is 75 degrees west. We divide that by 15, which will tell us the hour difference, which gives us 5 hours. But because they're west of Greenwich, they're behind. So we have to take our 12 p.m. and minus 5 hours. So 12 p.m. minus 5 hours, and that's going to give us 7 a.m. in New York. So what we can say is that Sydney is actually plus 10 hours, plus 10 UTC. And UTC is our coordinated universal time. So you might, when you set your phone, when you get your phone for the first time, you have to set the time zone, and if you're in Sydney, you'll pick plus 10 UTC. And this is what it is. It's referencing time from Greenwich. And New York is actually, because they have 5 hours, they're minus 5 UTC. So the difference actually between Sydney and New York is 15 hours. And we're going to use that for our next example. So if you were flying from Sydney to New York, and you wanted to leave Sydney at 8 a.m. on Monday. Let's say the flight took 14 hours. What time would it be when you arrived in New York? So what I like to do for these questions is I like to draw like a silly diagram. So from where you're starting to where you're going and working out our time zones. So we've already worked out that Sydney is plus 10 UTC and New York is minus 5 UTC, and the difference between them is 15 hours. Which means, so since Sydney is plus and New York is minus, when we travel from Sydney to New York, we're going to have to subtract 15 hours worth of time. But if the flight is 14 hours, we're going to have to plus 14 hours there. And combining those two together, minus 15 plus 14 gives us minus 1 hour. And that's all we have to do to our starting time. So if we're leaving at 8 a.m., the overall difference is minus 15 plus 14, so it's minus 1 hour. And that means we minus 1 hour from our starting time, which is 8 a.m. on Monday. So we're going to get to New York at 7 a.m. on Monday, like going back in time.